Hello and welcome back. We are here with Tara, and we've just had a lovely conversation around her book launching. And just as I was listening to her, I was kind of grinning inside because I'd had a quick look at her human sign chart just before we got on. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much in here that you've said that is just so on point for your design. So Tara is a emotional generator, a 3-6 emotional generator. So as a generator, what we know is your aura is big and open and enveloping. It's meant to be like a big warm hug. And we can totally get that from your energy as you come on this podcast. So that's evident from there. A generator literally does this. It generates energy around something that you're building. Okay, that's something that you're deciding to build, that is responding to something that's happening in life. So there you are with your experience and your lessons, and you're responding to that by creating these books and these offers and this coaching packages around something that you love. And I think this is the thing with generators, is when you love and you're lit up by it, you can generate energy around it. The moment you don't love it anymore, it actually has that degenerative effect. So I'm sure you can think of times where, in your career, you had that, yeah, it's no longer lighting me up, and therefore I feel exhausted. I almost feel like I'm burnout and I don't feel like I can keep on going. And that's a big clue for you as generators, is like, are you lit up by what you do? Because if you are, then you can generate lots of energy around it. And we see that with everything you've done since you've left corporate, in terms of speaking on stage, the books, all the things, and just how lit up you are when you're talking about it. So that is like totally on point for your energy type.
Nice. It's
The
funny
other,
because when you say about kind of that when you lose love,
yeah,
um, one of the reasons why I left one of the corporate companies that I'd worked at is I literally would say to people, I've started to fall out of love with this company and I love the company. I'm
yeah,
starting to fall out and I want to leave before I've properly fallen out of love with it.
yeah.
So how
Perfect.
funny.
Yeah, absolutely on point for you without even knowing, which is great.
Yeah.
You've got the 3-6 um profile. This is like how your energy is received, and how you, like, the role you came here to play, really. And the 3 line is, it's called the martyr. It's not very, doesn't sound very good, but it's all about trial and error. Okay, so you go through your life trialing and erroring, learning from the lessons, learning from the mistakes, making the mistakes, being happy to make the mistakes, and then like picking yourself up and learning from that. And that's just how you evolve through life, just trial and error. And the role model is like, there's these pivotal moments in the 6 lines life where usually one is around 30 years old, and then the other one is usually around 50 years old. And it's almost like, again, you'll take all those lessons, and when you get to this place, it's almost like you're sitting on a rooftop and you're able to just see the landscape for what it is and just really lead from that place, because you can just see exactly why everything's happened that's happened. And from that place you have all this wisdom, and you're just basically seen as the role model. So I can already see how that's starting to play out at this stage of your life. So that's really cool. And then the emotional authority, this is your inner authority. And again, I heard you say many a time about how you make decisions and how actually you go and do your own thing anyway. But key for you is that your emotions are going to be a big part of your, just like, how things play out for you. And the key is that you ride out emotional waves before you make a decision. So we experience some quite extreme highs and lows as an emotional authority, and the key is not to make a big decision in an emotional high or a low, and wait until you get back to cool, calm, collected before you have like an informed decision at that point. And then that said, you also have the defined sacral. So this is like your clear yes or no. So you do have that energy. You have access to this life force energy and this real sacral knowing in your body that actually sounds like a yes or a no that comes out of your mouth. But the key for you is that you have to ride out your emotions as an emotional authority. So that was there. And then just on your, I always like to hone in on an incarnation cross, which is like 70% of your essence. This is like your big four, your sun and your earth, both personality and design side, which is, it's like the essence of you. And yours is the right angle cross of consciousness too. And this is what it says. So tell me if you resonate with this. You're here to balance the energies of desire, to have an experience and be done with it. Your motto is been there, done that. Have you ever said that?
I don't know whether been there, done that, but there is an element of you're completely normal because I've gone through the similar thing. So
Yes.
yeah,
It goes on to say, as situations arise in life, many times you may realize that you have experienced something similar before, so you don't need to go through all the effort to do that all again. You may feel enormous pressure to experience all aspects of a situation so you can know that experience fully. Your job is to save the collective from repeating what we know and help us experience what we haven't yet mastered. I do feel like that's quite key for you
that
in
resonates.
terms of
Yeah.
like, just look at the book. Like, you don't have to continue like going through this, like learn from me. And again, that comes back to that 3-6 as well in your profile. So I thought that was quite on point from what little I know about you, but from what I've gleaned from just being in your company today. So thank you for
Completely.
letting me have a look at that and share that with our listeners.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I really appreciate you kind of giving that summary to me because about a year ago I did it and I had a look and there was lots of information. I was like, "Oh, I don't really know what I'm looking at." And then I
Yeah.
stopped,
Yeah.
even though
It
I've
can
hear
be
other people
overwhelming.
talk about it. So hearing that, I'm like, oh yeah, that completely resonates. So
Yeah. Well, I've literally just created something that I've called the HD initiation, which is to help people with exactly that. It's like once you've run your chart, how do you overcome the overwhelm of
yeah,
looking at it and just pulling out the key information? So, as always, the link to that is in the bio in the show notes below. And we're also going to link again to Tara's book. So if you haven't already got the book, it is out now on Amazon and Waterstones online.
exactly. It's called Stop Apologizing.
Stop Apologizing by Tara Rule. So thanks again, Tara. This has been awesome. And wishing you all the luck again with your book launch and all the wonderfulness that you're doing in the world.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Emma.
Take care.